5 dangerous and 5 life-saving nuts for people over 60. Hey there, everyone, especially if you're over 60. Have you ever thought that the nuts you're eating every day might be silently harming your health? It's hard to imagine that the very nuts you trust to be good for your heart and brain could actually increase your risk of heart disease, memory loss, and even Alzheimer's. But don't worry. In this video, I'm going to share the 5 nuts you need to avoid right now, and the 5 life-saving nuts you should be eating every day to protect your health as you get older. Don't let this crucial information pass you by. Hit the like and subscribe buttons and turn on notifications so you'll always get helpful health advice from Dr. Ryan Davis and Senior Care Wellness. Your health journey starts today. Let's dive right into the video. 5 nuts to avoid for seniors. 1. Macadamia nuts. When people think about healthy nuts, macadamia nuts often make it to the top of the list. With their rich, buttery flavor and luxurious texture, they're considered a gourmet snack, often promoted as being good for your body. But as someone who has spent decades studying the way food affects the aging body, I want to share a truth that isn't often talked about. Macadamia nuts are not as heart-friendly as many believe, especially once you reach your 60s and beyond. Let me explain why. Macadamia nuts are unusually high in saturated fat. Now, fat isn't always the enemy. Our bodies need healthy fats to function. But the problem lies in the type and balance. Macadamia nuts have an unfavorable omega-6 to omega-3 ratio. As the body ages, balance between these two fatty acids becomes essential. Too much omega-6 without enough omega-3 tips the scale toward inflammation, which quietly damages blood vessels, raises blood pressure, and creates the perfect environment for cardiovascular disease to develop. There's also the fact that after about age 65, our livers begin to lose efficiency. The liver plays a central role in metabolizing fat, and when it slows down, saturated fat lingers longer in the bloodstream. What happens next? LDL cholesterol, the so-called bad cholesterol, rises. Over time, LDL builds up inside artery walls, narrowing those blood vessels and increasing the risk of clot, stroke, and heart attack. Research confirms this. A 2023 study published in the Journal of Geriatric Nutrition followed older adults who ate macadamia nuts more than twice a week. Compared to those who rarely ate them, these individuals showed up to a 34% increase in arterial plaque. That's a striking number. It's not just theory, it's evidence that macadamias can accelerate artery hardening in the very population that most needs to protect cardiovascular health. And the concerns don't stop there. Macadamia nuts are also rich in phosphorus. Normally, phosphorus is a good thing. It's vital for bone health and cellular repair. But as kidneys age, their filtering power weakens. Extra phosphorus begins to accumulate, leading to vascular calcification. This is when minerals harden in the arteries, turning them brittle, stiff, and more likely to rupture. Once again, the risk comes back to the heart. Now, does this mean macadamia nuts should be banished from your kitchen forever? Not necessarily, but they should be treated with caution, especially if you are over 60. Moderation is the key. A small handful enjoyed occasionally is unlikely to cause harm. The danger arises when they become a daily snack, piling on fats and phosphorus that the body struggles to manage. So what can you do instead? This is where almonds shine. Almonds are rich in monounsaturated fats, which have the opposite effect of macadamias. They help lower LDL cholesterol and support flexible, healthy blood vessels. They deliver magnesium, vitamin E, and fiber nutrients that actively protect the heart instead of stressing it. In other words, almonds give you the good fat that your aging body can use more efficiently. I often tell my patients, your food choices are your daily medicine. A heart attack doesn't happen overnight. It's the result of years of small decisions that either protect your arteries or weaken them. Something as simple as swapping macadamia nuts for almonds could make a meaningful difference in keeping your circulation strong and your heart healthy. If macadamia nuts are your guilty pleasure, think of them as a treat rather than a staple. A few at a holiday party, fine. A bowl every evening while watching television, not so fine. When you're in your 60s, every choice you make at the table is an investment either in your well-being or in future health complications. So the next time you're reaching for a snack, pause and remember, buttery doesn't always mean better. Your heart will thank you for making the wiser choice. 2. Brazil nuts. If you've been paying attention to health trends, you've probably heard about the incredible benefits of Brazil nuts. Known for their rich, earthy flavor and loaded with nutrients, these nuts are often touted as a healthy snack. But here's something not everyone knows. While Brazil nuts pack a punch with essential minerals, they can actually be harmful to your health, especially as you age. When you're over 60, your approach to food should not just be about eating the right things, but also about consuming them in moderation to safeguard your long-term health. Let's dive deeper into the surprising truth behind Brazil nuts and why they might not be the best choice for older adults who are working hard to maintain their well-being. Brazil nuts are incredibly rich in selenium, a mineral that plays a key role in the body. Selenium acts as a powerful antioxidant, protecting cells from oxidative damage and supporting a healthy immune system. It also has a positive influence on thyroid function, helping the body maintain a balance in metabolism. However, when it comes to older adults, there's a catch. The problem arises when selenium is consumed in excess, something that's easier than you might think with Brazil nuts. Overconsumption of selenium can lead to toxicity, which brings a host of potential health problems, particularly affecting the brain and nervous system. Let me tell you about one of my patients, Margaret, a 71-year-old woman, who started incorporating 3 Brazil nuts into her daily diet after hearing about their anti-aging properties. She believed that eating Brazil nuts would help her maintain her vitality. However, after several months, she started noticing unsettling symptoms, hair loss, shaky hands, and trouble concentrating. At first, she thought these were just signs of natural aging. But when I checked her selenium levels, the results were shocking. Her levels were 5 times higher than normal. The symptoms she had been attributing to old age were actually caused by selenium toxicity. Excess selenium can wreak havoc on several vital organs, including the kidneys and brain. One of the most concerning effects of too much selenium is its impact on the hippocampus, the area of the brain responsible for memory and learning. Studies have shown that prolonged selenium toxicity can lead to cognitive decline, memory issues, and even neurological disorders. What makes this even more problematic is that these symptoms are often misinterpreted as part of the natural aging process, delaying diagnosis and intervention. But the risks of Brazil nuts don't end there. These nuts also contain barium, a naturally occurring element that in excessive amounts can lead to serious health complications. When barium builds up in the body, it can cause irregular heart rhythms and high blood pressure, putting individuals at a much higher risk of stroke or heart attack. For older adults with pre-existing cardiovascular conditions, consuming too many Brazil nuts can significantly increase the risk of these life-threatening events. So what does this mean for you, especially if you're over 60? While Brazil nuts can provide a good source of selenium and other essential nutrients, they should be consumed with caution. It's crucial to be mindful of how much you eat. Just a few nuts a day can easily push your selenium intake into the danger zone. Instead of reaching for Brazil nuts, I recommend considering safer alternatives that still provide the nutritional benefits without the risk of toxicity. Sunflower seeds and eggs are excellent sources of selenium and offer a much more balanced and safe approach for older adults. Remember, moderation is key when it comes to any food, and as we get older, our bodies become more sensitive to the nutrients we consume. It's important to prioritize foods that promote health without inadvertently causing harm. So while Brazil nuts may be a tempting snack, especially with their nutrient profile, it's best to enjoy them sparingly and choose alternatives that better suit your health needs as you age. Taking care of your health after 60 isn't just about what you eat. It's about making smart, informed choices that protect your long-term well-being. Your heart, your brain, and your overall health will thank you for it. 3. Peanuts. Peanuts. Those small, crunchy snacks we often turn to for a quick bite may seem harmless, even healthy. After all, they're rich in protein and packed with nutrients, making them a popular choice for many. But what if I told you that peanuts, as much as we love them, could actually be a health risk, especially as you age? Let me walk you through why this familiar snack may not be as innocent as it seems, particularly if you're in your 60s or beyond. Here's a surprising fact. Despite their appearance, peanuts aren't technically nuts at all. They're legumes, like beans and lentils, which can have a different impact on your health than true tree nuts, like almonds or walnuts. And that's just the beginning of what you need to know. One of the most concerning aspects of peanuts, particularly when not stored properly, is the presence of aflatoxin, a natural toxin produced by mold. This mold can grow on peanuts if they're exposed to moisture or not kept in the right conditions. Aflatoxin is not just any toxin. It's classified as a Group 1 carcinogen by the World Health Organization (WHO), meaning it is carcinogenic to humans. Over time, as aflatoxin builds up in the body, it can cause serious damage to internal organs, most notably the liver. Long-term peanut consumption, particularly when these peanuts are contaminated with aflatoxin, can significantly increase the risk of liver cancer and other forms of cancer. But the dangers of peanuts don't stop at cancer. Peanuts also contain a high ratio of omega-6 fatty acids. Our bodies require a delicate balance between omega-6 and omega-3 fatty acids for optimal health. When we consume too much omega-6, as is often the case with peanuts, and not enough omega-3, our bodies enter a state of inflammatory imbalance. Chronic inflammation is a key contributor to various health issues, including joint pain, cognitive decline, and cardiovascular disease. For seniors, this imbalance can accelerate the effects of aging, leading to debilitating problems like arthritis and memory issues. I'll never forget a patient of mine, Patricia, who was 70 years old. She had a routine of eating toast with peanut butter every morning and she loved it. But after some time, she started noticing persistent joint pain, mental fatigue, and difficulty sleeping. She often felt foggy and couldn't concentrate, which greatly affected her daily life. After running some tests, we found that her body had high levels of aflatoxin. This revelation was a turning point. We immediately removed peanuts from her diet, and within just a few weeks, her symptoms began to improve. The joint pain eased, her mental clarity returned, and she was finally able to sleep better at night. This experience underscored the importance of being mindful of the foods we eat, especially as we age. For older adults, the body becomes less efficient at processing certain substances, and what was once a harmless snack may now be causing damage. The combination of aflatoxin and inflammatory omega-6 fatty acid overload and the resulting health issues can be detrimental as we move into our later years. So what should you do if you're a senior who loves peanuts? First and foremost, it's important to limit your peanut consumption. Instead, try replacing peanuts with healthier alternatives that offer better nutritional benefits without the associated risks. Sunflower seeds and chia seeds are excellent options. They provide omega-3 fatty acids and have a much lower risk of contamination. Plus, they're loaded with essential nutrients like fiber, protein, and antioxidants, which can help protect your body against inflammation and support overall health. Choosing the right foods becomes more crucial as we age. By making small adjustments to your diet, you can minimize the risk of cancer, inflammatory diseases, and cognitive decline. Remember, the goal isn't to completely eliminate peanuts, but to enjoy them in moderation and be aware of the potential risks, especially if you're over 60. Taking care of your health is a lifelong process. By making smarter, more informed food choices today, you can help ensure a healthier, more vibrant future. 4. Cashews. Cashews, those small, delicious, and easy-to-eat snacks, are often seen as a healthy choice, full of nutrients and packed with healthy fats. But as much as I love them myself, I've come to realize that cashews might not be the best option for seniors, especially those over 60. Let me explain why and share some important information you may not know about these popular nuts. Cashews are indeed rich in essential nutrients like magnesium, iron, and zinc, and they offer healthy fats that can support heart health. However, they also contain a significant amount of oxalates. Oxalates are compounds that, when consumed in excess, can cause serious health problems, particularly for older adults. When oxalates combine with calcium, they form crystals which can accumulate in the kidneys and lead to the formation of kidney stones. For anyone who has experienced kidney stones, you know how painful and debilitating they can be. And as we age, our kidneys lose some of their ability to filter and process waste, effectively making it harder to manage this issue. Let me share a story about one of my patients, Joseph, who was 67 when he came to me for help. Joseph loved cashews and ate them every day as part of his routine. However, after a few months of daily consumption, he started experiencing persistent lower back pain and difficulty breathing when walking. Worried, he came in for a medical exam. We discovered that he had developed kidney stones, a condition he had never experienced before. The culprit? His regular intake of cashews, which was contributing to oxalate buildup in his kidneys. After removing cashews from his diet and replacing them with almonds, Joseph noticed a remarkable improvement. His kidney problems were greatly reduced, his triglycerides dropped, and his back pain disappeared. He even told me that he felt like he had gained 5 years of his life back. Beyond kidney issues, cashews can also increase inflammation in the body. Chronic inflammation, which becomes more common with age, can worsen conditions like arthritis and cardiovascular disease. Cashews are high in omega-6 fatty acids, which, when not balanced with omega-3 fatty acids, can exacerbate inflammation. For older adults who already have weakened immune systems or pre-existing inflammatory conditions, this can be especially concerning. The key takeaway here is that while cashews are delicious and offer several health benefits, they may not be the best choice for older adults, especially those with a history of kidney problems, arthritis, or other inflammatory conditions. If you're over 60, I strongly recommend limiting your intake of cashews, particularly if you're prone to kidney stones or have arthritis. Instead, consider replacing them with other nuts that provide similar nutritional benefits without the risk of oxalates. Almonds, chia seeds, and flax seeds are all great alternatives. They are rich in omega-3s, which help reduce inflammation and support heart health, and they don't carry the same kidney risks that cashews do. Changing your diet doesn't mean you have to give up all the foods you love. It's about making smarter choices that protect your long-term health. By swapping cashews for almonds or other healthier options, you can keep your kidneys, heart, and joints in better shape as you age. Remember, small adjustments to your diet can make a big difference in your health, and it's never too late to start making choices that protect your future. So while cashews may still be enjoyed on occasion, make sure to enjoy them in moderation and always prioritize your body's needs as you enter your 60s and beyond. 5. Pistachios. Pistachios are often regarded as a delicious and heart-healthy snack. With their rich flavor and impressive nutritional profile, it's no wonder they're a favorite for many. But despite their reputation, pistachios also come with some risks that aren't widely known, especially for those over 60. As much as we love them, pistachios can actually be harmful to your health if they're not stored properly or consumed in excess. Let me walk you through why these seemingly innocent nuts may not be as good for you as you think. One of the biggest concerns with pistachios is the presence of aflatoxin, a potent toxin produced by mold that can grow on them if they are stored in warm, humid conditions. Aflatoxin is not something to take lightly. The World Health Organization (WHO) has classified it as a Group 1 carcinogen, which means it's carcinogenic to humans. Consuming pistachios contaminated with aflatoxin can lead to food poisoning and significantly increase the risk of liver cancer. The danger is even more significant for seniors whose immune systems may not handle toxins as efficiently as they once did. The issue with aflatoxin goes beyond the obvious risk of contamination. It's a slow, insidious process. When aflatoxin enters the body over time, it accumulates and can seriously damage the liver and other organs. This is why it's crucial to ensure that your pistachios are stored correctly in a cool, dry place so that mold growth doesn't become a problem. In addition to aflatoxin, another potential danger with pistachios is the amount of salt often added to processed varieties. Salt is commonly used to enhance the flavor of pistachios, but for older adults, consuming too much salt can be a serious concern. Excessive salt intake can cause high blood pressure, which in turn raises the risk of heart disease and stroke. Salt also places a strain on the kidneys, which can be especially harmful to seniors who may already have kidney function issues or high blood pressure. I had a patient named Nancy who was 72 years old and loved eating salted pistachios. She believed that the pistachios were a healthy snack option, given their heart benefits. However, after months of eating them every day, Nancy started to experience chest pain and dizzy spells whenever she walked. Alarmed, she came in for a checkup, and we discovered that her blood pressure was dangerously high. When I asked her about her diet, she admitted that salted pistachios were a daily snack. We decided to remove the processed pistachios from her diet and switch her to unsalted varieties. Within a short time, Nancy's blood pressure improved, the dizziness disappeared, and she felt a lot better overall. This story highlights the importance of moderation and the hidden dangers in seemingly healthy snacks. If you're over 60 and love pistachios, I recommend you limit your intake of processed salted pistachios. Instead, opt for unsalted pistachios and make sure they're stored properly to avoid contamination with aflatoxin. If you're worried about the risks associated with pistachios, there are plenty of healthy alternatives that can provide similar benefits. Almonds, chia seeds, and flax seeds are all excellent choices. They're nutrient-dense and heart-healthy, and they don't carry the same risks as pistachios. These alternatives also provide omega-3 fatty acids and calcium, which are beneficial for heart health and overall well-being. When it comes to your health, especially as you age, it's important to make informed choices. While pistachios may be tasty, they can present risks that shouldn't be ignored. By making a few simple adjustments to your diet, such as choosing unsalted nuts and storing them properly, you can enjoy the benefits of healthy snacks without putting your health at risk. As we get older, our bodies become more sensitive to the foods we eat, and it's essential to make every choice count. So enjoy pistachios in moderation and choose healthier alternatives that protect your long-term health.